So anybody got any particular experiences, Lily?
So for me, I was really excited about the meditation part and kind of quietening the mind. And it was great to have the feedback that that was difficult for people as well as for me. And for me, that was about overthinking. It was constantly like in my brain. So being able to hone that has enabled me to act more. Again, we were talking about the acting first before the mindset comes in. So if I can feel the negativity or feel the overthinking, I will literally do anything to get up and out of that situation. And that's helped me so much. I was so productive like yesterday, going on my morning walks and things. And even if I couldn't do that, just the ability to kind of quiet the mind, be aware of myself and other people, and kind of distance anything that was stressing me out or anxiety, and then acting on that before the negativity had a chance to kick in. So it's really increased my productivity. And in doing the action, that's increased my confidence. So that when thoughts come in, I'm like, no, I know I've now got a pattern of behavior that shows me I can do this and I can reach out to people. And so, yeah, that's obviously relevant for my acting, but also just in my beingness and kind of reducing the thinking. So it's
I love that. I love it. Brilliant. That's fantastic. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Brilliant. Okay. Anybody else? Any specifics, Daniel?
Well, sort of building on that, I find I do overthink less. I take action a lot more, and then I feel the reward. Like just little things, like for example, I used to overthink like, oh, should I send this email to this person? And now I just think, okay, just send the email, just do it. Don't overthink it, just do it, and then it's done, And then, and also when I go for a walk, I mean, I always walked a lot, but I've just felt the value of it far more, and just I feel overall like I just live inside my body more than my mind these days, and just like I'm led by my instincts a lot more. And it's easier to sleep. I just focus on my breathing a lot more as opposed to my thoughts. And I just come back to my breathing and then yeah, I just feel more connected to myself.
Oh, that's
Um,
lovely.
and I yeah, before I did the course, I was feeling a lot of sort of isolation, um, and and obviously in lockdown, everything, and just even though we're still in lockdown, I don't feel the isolation anymore, having done the course, because I know myself a lot better and more connected to myself.
That's brilliant. And, that's a great message for anybody out there, viewing this, is that it's a fantastic leveler for the pandemic situation, the lockdown that we're in. It really is. Gives you time, and I think everybody will agree, it gives you time to focus on something else, as well as focusing on yourself. You can step away from, the mundanity of that situation and all the pressure and pain that everybody's feeling from it. So that's really cool. Thanks, Daniel. And Jennifer?
Um, One of the things I found incredibly helpful has been the freedom exercise. I find just because I'm not used to it, because my acting experience is mainly theatrical, I find taping myself and being on camera, I get quite tense and I find it a bit stressful. And we're having to do a lot of self-taping at the minute, but I found doing the freedom exercise before I do a self-tape incredibly helpful, because I'm just so much more relaxed and literally free. I think my performances are better as a result, because I'm not focusing on there's a camera in front of me. I'm just I'm in the moment, and yeah, I found that incredibly helpful as a way of sort of releasing the tension and the stress that I put on myself, and that then comes across on the camera. So I found that incredibly helpful.
It's a beautiful exercise, those freedom exercises. Yeah, really good. Carmel. Sorry, I know, Carmel, you have to go in a second. You've got some work, but
yeah, so for me, like overall the structure of the course was something that was like really important to me. Like January is bad enough any year, but this year, it could have been awful, but doing this for 2 weeks during that month really gave me like purpose, somewhere to be. It made me go outside more because of like the homeworks and stuff that we had. And one thing that I've been using, especially recently, kind of links in with the overthinking thing about if I worry about something that could potentially happen, I'm like, I have no means of knowing what is actually going to happen in that situation. So there's no point in worrying about it. That's not real. What's real is what's happening right now, and that's bringing me back into the present. And it took like, that was something so not important that I was worrying about over several days. And like now, sometimes I'll still think about it, but I don't feel stressed out by it, because I'm like, there's literally like, all that is happening is what is happening to me now, not thinking about the past and not thinking about the future.
That's brilliant. And, you know, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, isn't it? Is being able to, being aware. As soon as you're aware, and then you can isolate thoughts and you know what they are. And once you can observe them and know what they are, then you know how to deal with them. And that's power. That's power. And that's fantastic. Thank you. Alice.
Yeah. So quite a few of you have already said what I would say, or like I agree with you basically. But another thing that I think I've noticed in myself that's been a positive change is the visualization. I'm not going into a situation or an experience now like expecting or seeing the worst. Like I'm visualizing a more positive, better outcome for things. And going back to like self-tapes and like homing it, like pondering over like a job or not hearing back from an email or something, it will still play on our minds as creatives, I think, but like I'm not worrying about it or getting inner critics that feed in, being like, oh, you're not good enough or any of that necessarily. I'm kind of, like Lily was saying, like parking those voices to one side and being more confident in yourself and like just owning yourself. And that's what the course has like taught me, and that's what has stayed with me.
So do you all think that the title makes sense? Reset your confidence and regain control.
Absolutely.
That's really good. That's really good. Thank you. And Francesca?
Yes. Okay. Lots of things actually I got from this course. The one I liked the most. Sorry, my dog is snoring. So the most important thing I got, I mean, from was I've been affected was identifying the character as my inner critics. That helped me a lot because, you know, creating this character, I know that the inner critics and the negative thoughts comes from me, you know, they come from me, but saying that, I can always push them away, you know, I can always think things in another perspective. So under other lights, maybe more positive outcomes rather than negatives, you know. So yeah, and also having a time for me, and that was really important because I'm an actress, but also I am a mom. And during the lockdown, it has been hard, and it's still sometimes hard. Having a time for me to dedicate to my craft, you know, as Jenny said, another thing I really liked was the freedom exercise, because I want to have lots of things under my control. So sometimes I'm not allowing myself to be free, even when I play the character. Just you know, going out of the scheme. You can play with that. Who said no? You know. So yes, that gave me the kind of, you know, taste on what I can do, and that helped me a lot as well. And also I changed the way I speak to myself, like with more kindness. Sometimes I usually say, you know, I used to say, oh my god, how stupid you are, you know, you spilled the coffee from the cup, you know, something like that. And I'm not stupid, maybe I'm tired, or, you know, a little bit distracted because I've been bombarded by things, you know, around me. And so I am more kind with myself. And maybe I started my journal. So every day I wrote some small goals I can reach, or maybe I can't. At the end of the day, I'm writing what I've done. Sometimes it's completely different from what I've planned during the day, during the morning. But I've done something positive anyway, So it's not always the outcomes I thought, but it is something, So yeah, I think it helped me a lot, really, on the way I'm thinking of things, or on the way I can see, the ways are in front of me. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Yeah.
No, you're welcome, and thanks for being part of the course. That's really important. It's no good me on my own. I need people to be working with. So, I thank all of you. And it's a learning, journey for me as well, which is great. And it's great for people that are thinking of joining the course. Well, yeah, excuse me. I think the main thing is it gives you another perspective on yourself, to be at peace with yourself. That's what I've found from all, practicing all the exercises. Daniel?
Yeah, I also found, just going back to what you said about the title of the course, Regain Control, and what I said about the breathing, I think because I've gotten a lot more control over my breathing, I'm more focused on that. Generally, I feel like I've got more control in my life overall. And also, I'd never thought, before I did the course, I'd never thought of breathing as like, breathing to de-energize you and breathing to energize you. I'd already just thought of breathing as relaxation, and building what Jenny said about the freedom exercise, I've done a lot of the like energized breathing, like on a walk or generally, and I to get my energy levels up, or if I'm doing an interview that I'm nervous about, just building the energy and doing the energized breathing just has really helped to let those impulses go more, and not be analysis paralysis thing, not be like paralyzed by analyzing too much.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Brilliant. And you know what? You're not going back. None of you are going back. You're only going to go forward now.